And then I ran into this guy. He was talking about, so what do you do? He was like, I'm an Allstate agent. Here's my card. Gave him a call, blew him up. I had to literally just show up at this guy's office and knock on his door. Wouldn't take my call, so I had to force my way into the game, you know? Just because you knock one time don't mean that it's over for you. You really got to stay persistent. So I came out the same year LeBron James came out, and we...
Were you good?
Yeah, well, you good.
I got a scholarship. Look at that. You
you
ask anybody what they good.
Now we think he lying, y'all. We think he lying now.
Well, you get scholarship.
They paid me to play basketball. I got a scholarship.
Hey guys, it's LQ with the LQ Financial Group Chat, and this is our third episode. We have Mr. Marcus Egiebor on with us. So let's welcome him. Woo woo.
What up?
Egiebor, right? How you say it?
Y'all said it perfect. Y'all said it.
Egiebor.
I was looking at you. I was like, you gonna say it right?
Egiebor. I've said it. I've practiced it long enough now.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was like, Igigi.
I done heard it. You get the first two letters right. I know exactly who you're talking to.
Yeah. So what you call you for short?
Just Marcus.
Big E.
I'll go with that.
I ain't came up with a nickname for you.
You know what's so crazy?
I come up with a nickname for everybody. I ain't came up with you.
I had a client, and for the life of me, he will not get my name right. I said, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? He's like, hey, Marty. I'm like, Marcus, I've corrected the dude several times. So the running joke in my office is, they call me Marty.
Marty.
Yeah. Okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He didn't do it intentionally, I'm sure.
Well, I don't think he did it intentionally. I just think he just wanted to call me that. I corrected him. I'm like, bro, that's not my name. But,
Marty.
That's what hey. It's all good.
Yeah. So Marcus is a big force out here in the insurance industry.
Yes, sir.
Insurance Access, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Insurance Access. And kind of tell people in a couple of lines what you do.
So I'm a financial advisor, insurance broker. So Insurance Access is a brokerage outfit that we use several different insurance carriers to make sure that we get our customers the best cost and the best coverage through, the utilization of our skills and our knowledge in the field, understanding real estate and how these insurance policies work with different properties and everything like that. But, I also help people set up trusts, help people with estate planning, setting up wills, making sure that their resources are growing in the way that they want them to grow, to kind of create a roadmap to get them to the direction that they're trying to reach for them and their families.
That's real good. So how did you get in the industry at all? What made you go on this road trip? Well, how was your beginning started?
Well, I was, I was always I had an entrepreneurial mindset, from the day that, my mom told me she wasn't paying for haircuts anymore. I was like, okay, I gotta stay fresh. But, I just turned my chores and the things that I was laboring in services into, acquisition. So whenever I would cut yards, I would just, I would cut my own yard. My parents made me cut the yard, and then I just cut the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
Knock on the door and say, hey, you owe me $20. The service, everybody.
Put them in the game.
Yeah.
Did the work. Yeah.
Long story short, I grew up in a spiritual background, grew up in the church. So the largest donor of our church was an insurance broker. Mm. And he wrote this book called The Working Man's Guide to Becoming a Millionaire. Yeah. I disregarded everything in the book besides that one word. I was like, millionaire. I was like, okay, insurance, that's
not the work part. Don't worry about the work. Right. Millionaire.
I found out the hard way though.
Yeah.
But just went on my journey with that. Got an intern, my first job in insurance. Straight out of high school as an intern, and just went my own direction. And when you go your own direction, and God really has something different for you, it's a bumpier road. Mm. But became an Allstate agent, understood the business there and wanted to get into a more equitable space to learn how to protect not only my property, but how to protect my dollar. Because when people make money, they really want the stuff that money can provide. Mm-hmm. And really, we trade a lot of time for money. Yeah. So, for me, statistically, I have more past than than future. So I wanted to think about how I could, save my time by creating more resources and try to be more valuable in the same amount of time. That was just my own selfish thinking at the time. But after that, I really took a passion about helping people. When things go wrong in your house, that's the most intimate place in your life. So I understood, like, when these certain occurrences were happening, like flooding in somebody's house or the roof leaking or house fires and things like that, I really took a compassionate standpoint with creating these policies to make sure that they can get the benefit out of whatever happened. It could be finance and their life wouldn't be put on hold. So I really do care for people. It's a lot of different ways to make money, but I really use this as a purpose to, care for others and, utilize that as my standpoint to serve.
Cool. So where you from?
I'm from Dallas, Texas. Born and raised. Yeah. Started from Pleasant Grove, by way of Pleasant Grove to Cedar Hill. So
okay. So Egiebor, that's not a common last name. What's your heritage? What's your lineage?
Nigerian. My mother's from Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri. My dad is from Nigeria. Benin, Edo State, Benin, Nigeria. So,
okay. Yeah. Oh, all the way down to the tribe and everything.
Oh yeah, man.
Ain't no king or nothing. You ain't no king over.
Well, not
Prince
the one.
King. You ain't telling us something. You ain't telling us.
No, bro. Especially not the one that's gonna ask you for your account routing information.
Okay.
Through an email, none of that.
Right.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So your dad's Nigerian. Your mom's from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Where were you raised? Were you raised?
I was raised.
Well, you say you were raised in Dallas.
Yeah. I was raised in Dallas. Okay.
So how did that happen? One's from Kansas City, one's from Nigeria. How you end up in Dallas?
So it's crazy because my mom is one of 10. So her older sister moved to the oldest of 10 moved to Dallas, and my mother followed her. She was the only one from our family that followed her to, Dallas. And my mother went to college. And my dad ended up being at the same college, and I came along shortly after that.
Shot.
Yeah,
Pops got up there and shot.
Yeah, I'm glad he did.
Kansas City women strong. You got.
Oh man.
Yeah. So what we saying? Shout out to Dad.
Yeah, shout out. Shout out to Pops for getting me in the game. Yeah. Definitely.
So that's how you ended up here. So
yes,
and
sir.
You were mostly raised with your mom's side of the family, or
mostly raised with my mom's side. Okay. Like I grew up in a single parent household.
Yeah.
So my pops is from Nigeria. Mm-hmm. So around that time, coming into America around the 70s, there's a lot. Yeah. The world is different. America is different. There's a lot of different experiences that he didn't have coming into this new society. So it was hard for him to get a job. His accent was really, really thick. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a liking towards that culture around that time. So he was vulnerable to certain circumstances, and he ended up getting into selling narcotics and getting into activities that he shouldn't have been in, and he ended up getting deported. Deported back to Nigeria when I was maybe 10 years old, 11 years old, something like that. But my mom is strong. She always felt like education was going to be a good foundation. If I could learn something, I could utilize this education to take me to certain areas that she couldn't, at that time where her resources were. But, shout out to Ma too.
Yes,
really appreciate that for rearing me right and everything.
Strong women, of course.
Strong women.
Yeah, it take a strong woman.
Yeah, definitely. And it take a village too, because she got me around a lot of different people. I never missed out. I had cousins. Like I said, I had a aunt who was here. She had three sons, and they were kind of like my brothers growing up and everything like that. So I was around sports. I just really didn't miss.
Yeah. Did you continue to be in contact with your dad even though he had gotten deported? You still had a good relationship?
Great relationship with him. He did what he could. As you get older, you realize that your parents are people too.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
that's important.
Yeah.
It's real important.
Real important.
Because you don't realize until you got your own little people running around here and you messing them up.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's important.
I definitely been out there to visit.
And I'm sure he had his own struggles as well too.
Yeah. 100%.
So
yeah.
It's all like.
But sometimes as a kid, you don't see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, man, he ain't here. What's going on? You don't
questioning
get
things.
the particulars of adult life and relationships. So
right,
you just dealing with it as a kid, and kids deal with stuff the same as adults.
Absolutely.
They try to figure it out on their own. They cope in their own way, and that can affect you.
Yeah,
That's where you get adults from.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it was just, especially, growing up in, because our circumstances weren't always great. We kind of started in a she always kept me in the house, but we started kind of like in the hood a little bit. So we did see a lot of that narrative of single parent households, but I was in contact with my father. We did speak, even though it was over the foreign airwaves. So it was a lot of that explanation of what was going on to where I didn't have a question mark. So I was really grateful for that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Real good.
Yeah, that's cool that you have a good relationship.
Yeah.
Dads are important.
Absolutely.
Super important.
Absolutely. People are people, man. So, yeah.
Hey guys, it's your girl LQ. Guess what season it is? It is Scorpio season, and guess what? The whole month of November, we are running a huge deal, and it's for the insurance boot camp, and we're doing a deal for $500. Yeah, you heard me right. $500 to come through the insurance boot camp and get your insurance license. This might have been something you've always wanted to do, and you didn't have an opportunity, or you had a hard time passing your test. Come see your girl. But don't take my word for it. Check out some of our people who's already came through the boot camp.
I came down to get my insurance license. It has been a wonderful experience.
Y'all need to come down here and get trained at LQ Financial. I'm glad I got my life insurance license.
I encourage you all to do it. Jump.
Check the link below. The code is Scorpio right now. Go to lqfinancialacademy.com. Only until the end of November. Again, only till the end of November.
Yeah. So, coming up, being that you're with your mom, your dad was out of the country. What was your childhood like, going to school?
It was cool, man. It was
smart kid, bad kid.
I would say I was a mischievous kid. I was a curious kid, curious. So I went to like private schools and academies all my life. But like I said, my education was important to my mom. So we started off like, I felt like I was like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
But I, didn't have the Bel-Air to come back home to.
Right.
But I was in a affluent area growing up as far as like my educational background all the time. So I had a lot of exposure to different types of demographics and things like that. And I used to get teased by like my dialect and everything, because being in the hood talking, like Carlton, I had to fight, had to come home.
Kid.
Yeah, definitely.
You think he the coolest kid on the block? He don't even talk like us.
That part. So, it just stuck with me, and now I'm grateful. I used to resent it. I used to be insecure about it. Yeah. Just my dialect and how I didn't sound like the other black kids. Mom had vision. Yeah.
She knew what she was doing.
Right.
Like I'm you.
Yeah. She did, which instilled that belief in myself. So, and really I kind of did it out of just, when somebody tell you can't do something, look, I'm fighting to prove you wrong, man. Yeah. Okay, I sound like this right now, but okay, you're going to see me work hard and do something. And it came from that. That's where a lot of
So when it came to language, were you able to, when you went to the hood, you were able to change your voice up a little bit so you could have sound hood?
I tried to. But you around like, so it's intentional when you in school. They're literally trying to rear you and educate you. So I come home, it's kind of hard to break that up. Over the summers, it got better. But after a while, after getting a couple of cats off my back and then really kind of standing up for myself, I just gained that respect and camaraderie. And after that, I was just like every other kid.
Yeah, like every other.
Yeah, we was
just
all
with
cool.
some good proper English.
That was it. Straight up. That was it.
It wasn't Catholic school, was it?
Yeah.
Monastery.
Episcopalian. Yeah.
Same difference.
Yeah. So, Baptist, all of that. Yeah. So,
same difference. So when you were younger, say high school, middle school, did you have like a plan? Did you have dreams of what you were going to be in the future? Were you kind of thinking about it? Did you have any thoughts, ideas of that?
Sports.
Okay,
I
played sports.
I played every sport. I started off playing sports. Yeah. Basketball was my favorite sport at the time. So I was just really focused on, getting a college scholarship. That was really my only ambition.
What position you play?
I played the two
guard,
guard, 3 guard.
Well, you a big solid too, eh?
Yeah.
You was skinny back then?
I was skinny back then. Yeah, okay. I was skinny back then. Yeah. So, but
you said position you played. Were you good?
Yeah, were you good?
I got a scholarship. Look at that. You
ask
anybody where they good.
Now we think he lying, y'all. We think he lying now.
They paid me to play basketball. I got a scholarship. That bought my education.
Yeah.
So I was good. I was decent. I didn't make it to the league.
Yeah.
But I think that having that competitive nature in sports really kind of helped me in just my business life, the grit and determination and putting your body through, grueling circumstances in order to be able to perform on the stage, like on the court or, on the field or whatnot. So, but I was decent. I wasn't a scrub, I was good.
Did you ever have dreams of taking it further professional after college or anything, or it was kind of just your gateway to get the education part?
Well, after certain exposure in basketball, you start realizing who's good and who's great.
Yeah.
Right. So I came out the same year LeBron James came out, and we played.
All right.
Yeah.
You put that on your resume.
Yeah.
Me and LeBron came out the same year.
Y'all
I
heard
didn't make
that, right?
it to the NBA, but I was almost
me
there.
and LeBron came out the same year.
We played on the same court a couple of times.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Might not at the same time.
Yeah.
They got finished.
He was there and I was there the next day.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
They got finished, and then they had the halftime, and then I came on the court.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but after a while, I was just like, you know what? I had to really make a decision. I was like, and for me, college wasn't really just easy. I kind of struggled, so I had financially, so I had to have jobs. I did internships and things like that. So it was really more so survival. And I was like,
what kind of jobs were you doing back then?
Man,
putting yourself through school.
Some of them I can talk about, some of them I can't talk about.
I got you.
So I waited tables. I interned in the summer at an insurance company. I was a assistant manager at a Walgreens.
That's cool.
And I mean, any type of entrepreneurial aspect. I sold, shoes, T-shirts, things like that. So
like a grinder, a hustler, do what you can to make money to take
and
care
playing
of everything.
basketball and going to school at the same time.
And going to school at the same time.
Yeah.
So, for me, it was like, okay, am I going to make this out a career? I started having to really think long term.
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
McNeese State University.
You went to McNeese?
Yep.
I didn't know. You went to McNeese?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Lake
okay.
Charles,
Cool.
yeah.
So that's how you end up in Lake Charles.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another Louisiana connection.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
All of his
So
Louisiana
everybody
people, y'all
so
see
far
what's
has
going
been
on here.
connected to Louisiana in some
Oh yeah. It's a
Louisiana
special
where
place.
all the good entrepreneurs from.
Yeah. It's a good space. It's a special place, man.
It's a special place because there's a whole bunch of struggle there, and it's gonna cut you for the job.
Yeah.
And if you can survive Louisiana, you can survive anything.
Facts.
Yeah, you can survive anything. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Some of the best people I met was in Louisiana too.
And McNeese is a good school.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's not just a school.
Yeah.
Man, McNeese a good school.
I was grateful.
Yeah.
I was grateful, man.
That's real good.
Yeah,
That's good
cool.
stuff.
That's cool. So, how did you transition from
Your
you're in
college
school?
years.
Yeah, you're in college.
Mm-hmm.
You're working a job, kind of padding around doing some other stuff too, helping yourself kind of, get through college. How did you did you graduate from school, or how did you transition out of school to your next phase of life?
Yeah, I graduated from school. I always had a good connection to Dallas. Of course, Dallas is home, so I would go back and forth. I was doing an internship actually in Dallas.
Because your mom is in Dallas.
Yeah, she's in
and
Dallas.
You're going to school in Lake Charles.
Right,
Okay.
right. So I always had an entrepreneurial mindset. So I graduated, and stayed in Louisiana a semester to kind of, get my bearings up, get some resources up, make a little bit more money before I actually go back to Dallas.
Ah, got it.
So I actually saved a little money, found a business opportunity in Dallas to open up a barbershop and salon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
in Arlington.
So you're cutting hair too during this time? Or you learned, or
how did that
happen?
was one of my entrepreneurship ventures,
Okay.
growing up. Like, remember I told you my mom said, hey, no more haircuts.
Okay.
I had to practice on
Had to figure it
myself,
out.
practice on the homies, and then when I got to college, I was actually pretty good. So I was cutting guys' hair in the dorm rooms. Yeah, so I actually didn't cut hair, but I saw an opportunity to rent booth spaces and everything like that, which was an okay business and everything like that. But that actually launched me back into the city of Dallas. It actually brought me back home. So then I just kind of felt my way around the city. It was a new city, of course.
Yeah.
After like not being in the city for 5 years and coming back as an adult.
Yeah.
New experiences, new temptations. You know, it's a big city life, you know, and I'm coming from, you know, Lake Charles, Louisiana. So
just Lake Charles, small city.
Yeah.
City. Completely different culture.
Yeah, completely different.
Not even in the same realm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, just for the record, and we've talked about this before, this is slight segue. The best food in Louisiana is not in New Orleans. It's in Lafayette and Lake Charles.
Yes.
That's where you get your authentic, real deal Creole Cajun food from there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%. People think it's in New Orleans, but it's
just because it's a tourist destination.
Yeah, it's right in the thick of things. Lake Charles, Lafayette. I mean, I had some of the best food I've ever had in my life there.
I always hear that the food is super spicy.
It's spices. Some of it's not always spicy. If you like it spicy,
it's just flavorful.
It's flavorful. Yeah.
I've gotten to taste more flavorful food for the last 8 years because I got this Louisiana guy in my life. You know? So with me tasting foods, like I remember the very first time I tasted the cooking, I was like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Because it was so much, it had a lot of flavor, but it was hot. And I was like, oh my God. But of course, I'm a Texas girl. So it was like, hold on now. He was like, it's because you ain't used to nobody that can cook. That's all.
I wasn't either. I didn't even know what Tony Chachere's was until I got to Louisiana. I was like, what is this?
Louisiana is the only state that people go to just to eat.
Wow.
The only state. No other state. People go to Louisiana just to eat.
And then I got to go to New Orleans for the first time, and he never told a story, y'all, but he was trying to take some Crystal's hot sauce on the plane.
I ain't mad at that. That's a smart man right there.
They ain't got it out here.
And that's what he said. But the crazy part is the lady was like,
TSA some suckers.
They stopped you?
Man, they stopped me with some hot sauce.
Bag. It was crazy.
Come on.
They took the hot sauce.
And then you know what she did afterwards?
Man. She kept it probably.
She took it out and then told him, Amazon sell it.
That was a good tip.
Apparently, I wasn't the first person who tried to get the hot sauce up out of there.
So at least she left you.
She looked out a little bit. She looked out a little bit.
So now that you have transitioned to Dallas, everything's fresh and new fresh eyes on everything. What was your steps from there?
You know, just trying to learn how to be an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? When you out here in the city and you kind of rebranding yourself and you're trying to make one thing work, every boss take a loss.
Absolutely.
You know, that's one thing about, you know, entrepreneurship. You really got to have some grit and grind to stay in the process. So trying to find my way through different opportunities that led me to insurance. And part of that, I was working at a gas station and I needed that gas station to supplement my income, you know, based on what I was doing on the side. And then I ran into this guy. He's a regular customer, ran into him, you know, one day, and he was talking about, you know, his numbers. I said, how's your day? He's like, man, just trying to get these numbers right. I'm like, so what do you do? He's like, I'm an Allstate agent. If you want to learn a little bit more about the business and make some money, here's my card. Give me a call. Gave him a call, blew him up. You know, I had to literally just show up at this guy's office and knock on his door. He wouldn't take my call, so I had to force my way into the game, you know. Just because you knock one time don't mean that it's over for you. You really got to stay persistent, you know. So for me, it brought me back to that book, The Working Man's Guide to Becoming a Millionaire. And I always heard about insurance, and at that point, you know, I hadn't got to purpose. I'm in a primitive stage. I'm in survival mode at this point, you know. So he finally gives me an opportunity. He opens up some information about how to get licensed and things like that. So I end up getting my license, and I saw a ceiling under his tutelage. You know, I'm grateful for it, but I saw a ceiling. I'm like, okay, if I was running my business, I would do it a little different. Why isn't he hungry enough? You know, you can really take it.
So was he the owner? He was the owner of his own Allstate office?
He was the owner of his own Allstate office.
Were you still doing the barbershop during this time? Or
at that point, it had fell off.
What happened with the barbershop?
I was irresponsible. I was new to the city.
How old were you?
Turned up. I was about, I think I was 22, 23.
22? Okay, 22.
Yeah.
So you started a barbershop.
Yeah.
What kind of talk about some of the problems, and we're going to go back to the insurance, but I want to, because so many people will early on hit them bumps.
Yeah.
And they give up. And that's it. So clearly you got where you are today. So let's talk about how the barbershop kind of went south for you, and you kind of weathered that.
Yeah, so the barbershop went south because I still had my little part-time job working at Walgreens. I transferred it over to Texas. Yeah. So I felt like I was making a little bit of money at the time. I was making more than I did. So I was misappropriating the barbershop money with my lifestyle due to the city and everything. I was kicking it. Yeah. So, you know, I had talent enough to actually get it started, but you know, you got to implement that hard work. You know, hard work is going to beat talent every time if you don't stay focused.
Did you have other people working in the shop for you?
I had barbers,
written out
booths and everything, and I was blessed. You know, sometimes you do a favor and the Lord puts you through certain things. Yeah. Long story short, my lifestyle got ahead of what I really needed to do. Yeah, my income, right? You know, and
but you're young.
I was young. I ended up getting my car repossessed. I mean, it wasn't even a brand new car, too. Yeah. So I ended up getting it repossessed right in front of the shop. That was embarrassing as hell. Yeah. You know, so now at that point, I don't even have a car. Yeah. And really, to be honest with you, it was just it was a client who also shopped at who came into our barbershop salon operation. And one day she was just talking about her work, and she was an executive at QT. At the gas station. I was like, well, look, I need a job like now, you know, so she was able, that's how I got into it. But really a self-mastery. Without self-mastery and focus, you're going to lose every time. You know, you could do anything you want to do, but it really starts with you. People talk about competition. There ain't no competition. It's you and against the time that you have on this earth that the Lord is going to give you. Yeah. That's it. So I just kind of got my... We cuss on here. I was about to I got my shit together. Yeah. You know, and it was nobody to blame. I ended up filing bankruptcy. Yeah. You know, that really, really hurt. Yeah. And I thought it was a bad thing at the time, but I had to put my big boy drawers on, and the lawyer advised, and it really, at that point, it really took me to that next level as far as mind frame, and I started getting all of my investment license and things like that, and really disciplining myself and putting together a process day to day to really be focused. So when that opportunity came, I was like, I gotta get it. Yeah, because I don't know if it's gonna come again or not.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
opportunity don't disappear, just go to the next person. It'll knock on your door, go right to the next person.
I like that. Yeah, for sure.
And you didn't sleep on yourself though. You kept going.
Man, I had to. Shoot, I was damn near sleeping outside. Yeah. Luckily I had a couch to surf on at the time. Yeah. But man, that's one thing about humility. Yeah. You know, that
gotta have.
Yeah. Circumstances change.
Hey, it's your girl LQ at LQ Financial Group. That's right. Right now, we are looking to gain more team members. So we are looking to get more tax professionals. If you've ever been wanting to get into the financial space of taxes, well, here's your opportunity. And we're bringing on 5 more agents. That's right, 5 agents. Is that you? We are bringing on board people right now. That's right, you're going to get the proper training, proper grooming, and definitely with one of the greatest companies in the DFW. If you've been looking for a company to be a part of and become a tax professional, hey, we're the ones you want to come on board with. We want to get you set up for the class that starts on November the 6th. That's right, let's get you trained to become a tax professional with LQ Financial Group. So let's get you registered right now. Go to lqfinancialgroupacademy.com so that we can get you set for class for November the 6th. Right now. Go right now to lqfinancialacademy.com.
Yeah. So a random conversation at a gas station.
Yeah.
That you got because your barbershop was not doing, it was doing well, but your spending habits and everything wasn't up to parts of what they be.
Right.
That's important because people, a lot of times you hear people talk about no new friends and, kind of cutting themselves off from opportunity. You got to talk to as many people as you come across you never know who that next person is that either you can help or they can help you.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And that's all it is just a law of vibration too. You know, people who are doing, you know, the law of attraction. So if I'm in my space doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm naturally going to attract individuals like yourselves, leaders, winners, people who put it on the line the same way that I do. Because we're all, your tribe tends to find you, you know? So, and a lot of times you say, hey, no new friends, but all of my people are new because I had to become a whole different person to even get in this circumstance
that's
right now.
But that's a
you
big
know,
word
so
right
a lot of the people that I used to have and used to kick it with, they mad at me. You know what I'm saying? They mad at me because I literally had to become this person differently because it's personal development to actually get to where you want to go to. So what happens is I'm like, why are they mad? I'm just trying to better myself. I don't do the things that I used to do anymore. But what happens is I cut their reality off. You know, they're used to me hanging out, kicking it, drinking, going to the club, smoking. So
the turn up is gone for
right. I killed that person.
Yeah.
So they resent me for it, the new me for it. And I've just attracted another group of people who like to do the things that I like to do now.
Especially if you was the one helping fund and all the going
now,
out part.
They
sure hate that.
Now I'm fake.
Oh, Marcus ain't shit.
I heard all that, bro.
He used to come out and kick it. Really, he used to come out and pay the bill.
Facts,
it
bro.
wouldn't.
Facts,
Oh, he acting brand new now.
Why y'all don't kick it by yourself no more? He ain't with us no more.
Man.
That's what it happened. That's what happened.
But that's part of life changes too. That's part of making those decisions.
Facts, definitely. So I'm grateful for all of it, man. And then, you know, after coming from Allstate, you know, and thing about it, just because you meet a mentor or somebody who gives you a gateway opportunity, you outgrow them too.
That's real.
So the guy that I was talking about, you know, I ain't gonna drop his name or nothing like that. He was, you know, his hustle was extraordinary at that time. I was impressed with it because I had never seen those opportunities. But there was a ceiling on that, and I remember I wanted to go further in our space. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to another lane of asset protection and get my investment licenses. And I mentioned it to him, and he probably don't remember. I said, hey, look, I'm about to go get my advisory licenses. And, you know, and 90% of people who actually take these licenses fail these tests. So he was like, why you want to do that for? I felt some type of way. I felt challenged again. I felt like I was on the court again or on the field again. I was like, you know what? Why I want to do that? Okay. Well, you don't have me under your thumb anymore if I get this. Now I'm changing your reality of what's going, you know.
What you doing? Putting up pretty good numbers?
Oh yeah, definitely putting on, because you know I'm fresh out the gate. This is a new opportunity for me. Like, I'm fresh off of somebody's couch at the time with no car.
So it's all on the line.
It's all on the line. I gotta get it. So at that point, you know, I really had that push because, you know, the easiest way to get me to do something is to tell me I can't do it. So I was like, you know what? Let me focus, and that's not always a good thing, but at that point,
but that's your drive. That's the drive.
That's your drive.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't mind taking risks. I don't mind doing any of that. You know, people say they want it just because you go out and try it a couple of times and it don't work out. That don't mean it wasn't supposed to happen. You just gotta, maybe your best wasn't good enough.
Right.
You know, maybe you got to become somebody different to really actually get this thing to work. But if you don't have any other way out, you know, most people feel like they got a scapegoat or they feel like they can fall back. I didn't have none of that. You know what I mean? So, but at that point, that's when I became a broker and opened up another opportunity to really just partner with every insurance company in the industry, your Nationwide, your Allstate, Progressive, things like that. And then from those experiences of what I saw a lack of, I just utilized those to learn a little bit more and build mine.
How much time passed between the point where you met the insurance guy, started working with him, and the point you looked around and said, all right, I think I can do something else now. I'm ready to go to the next level past where I am. Well, how long had you worked there with?
It's like a year.
Like a year?
It was like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my drive was on 10 at that time.
Yeah.
And he was comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, he was good. Yeah, he was an agency owner. He was driving a Jag at the time, fly, you know, which is, I take nothing away from that.
Yeah.
Right.
But those are just.
But your ambitions were way bigger than that.
It had nothing to do with material things. At that point, I fell in love with the operation. I was a student of the game, and I saw things that you could actually tweak to make the business run better.
If he did this and that, did you ever kind of talk to him about those things? Like, man, you ever thought about doing this?
I was ready to run through a wall for him.
Yeah.
Nobody gave me no opportunities.
Yeah.
Mind you, the only jobs that I've ever had gotten had been given to me. Like the job at QT from the gas station.
Yeah.
Walgreens was an internship from school. Mm-hmm. My first insurance job was an internship for school. So I never actually applied. Maybe one job is waiting tables. Applied for a job and got one.
Got it.
So before that lady gave me that opportunity at the gas station, I had spent a year applying for jobs and nobody would hire me.
That's crazy.
I didn't know, I just couldn't know. So I figured I could never get a job. I had to really just get it on my own.
Yeah.
So, but I figured that you create something that you can serve the many with, many will serve you.
Yeah.
You give enough people what they want, you'll never have to worry about what you need. So I was passionate about a product that I could actually offer that really, really helped people.
Yeah.
So.
And that's how you end up saying, hey, I'm going to get my license. And he wasn't too on board with that.
Well, he was on board with it. He was just more so complacent. So I got my insurance license, and then I went to go get my advisory license, investment license and things.
So talk about for people not familiar with those licenses.
Okay.
Talk about the insurance license. Like your insurance license is a license for you to be able to sell what types of insurance?
So property and casualty gives you an opportunity to sell homeowners, auto, business, really every insurance except for life and health.
Okay.
So if you have a property casualty, that's called a PNC license, you can sell any type of insurance. You have to do what's called get appointed with these companies in order to sell insurance, to be a representative for them, but you're still a licensed agent. So whenever I say, hey, I'm a broker, people think that, okay, well, you're just a third party guy who just does it. No, I'm actually licensed with that company. I have a contract with this company. My license is on file and I have to maintain it. I essentially work for this company, but I work for this company too. And I work for this company too.
Okay.
So
that's what the insurance license was.
Right.
Basically everything, car, house,
business,
any of this, everything except life insurance and what else?
And healthcare.
Okay, got it. So that's what you had when you were at Allstate.
Right.
Gotcha. Right. And you wanted to add
life and investment.
Life insurance and investment. Gotcha. And that was a different test.
That's a different test.
A test that a lot of people don't pass.
Right. It's actually, the life insurance test is one test. Okay. So I end up getting a Series 6, Series 26, Series 63, Series 65, and that's your advisory license.
Okay.
So, but you have to be with a firm in order to be allowed to get those licenses. You got to be appointed to a firm.
Okay.
So, but unlike the insurance licenses, when you get your advisory license, it's almost like going through law school.
Yeah.
You get your advisory license, you can utilize them for whatever you want if you're not with that certain firm, who requires you to use their proprietary products.
Okay.
So I worked for a firm, and then I decided, hey, look, I can't be confined to their products because my clients need other things. Let me get into like estate planning to make sure that, I can help.
Because you could only, at that time, you were only able to sell from Allstate?
Yeah, from Allstate.
It had to be Allstate.
It had to be Allstate.
So if there was another company out there that offered a better rate or had something for your customer that would work better, you couldn't do anything with it.
Because I wasn't licensed with them, and Allstate had a non-compete clause.
So when you go and get these other licenses, you're like, man, I can open the door and get some more stuff. Because if Allstate can't do it, such and such.
Nationwide could do it.
Or something. Geico or somebody.
There you go.
Okay, got it. But he was more like, man, I'm good with Allstate. Had he been doing it for a long time, or
5 years prior to me?
Okay.
Yeah, and he had a success story as well too.
But he reached where he was trying to go, more or less. Sound like he was just cool.
He was just on easy street.
He was on easy.
So me,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it.
It's only something wrong with that when somebody's on easy street and you not.
Yeah,
it drive you crazy.
Yeah, it did, man. It did because it had nothing to do with the dollar amount, man. Potential has nothing to do with, to me, like money. It's like what can you do to utilize all the talents and all of the resources that God gave you. I want all of this to be out of me whenever I close my eyes, and I want to leave the world a better place than where I found it. So,
So you get those licenses. You newly licensed. You passed the test. Did you pass it on your first try?
Didn't pass it on my first because it was 4 tests.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm working at the gas station. I'm still there, and I'm still offering Allstate insurance, but I have to work overnight in order to take these tests.
Oh, wait. So you were still working at the gas station?
Yeah.
So you at the gas station selling insurance and trying to sell more insurance.
And studying for tests.
You're workaholic.
Yeah. I was working 55 hours a week. I was working 55 hours a week, studying 6 to 8 hours a day for like 6-7 years.
That is crazy.
While I was still working in the business, still operating with clients.
For 6-7 years.
For 6-7 years, man.
And it took that long for you to get all those licenses.
Took all that time.
It wasn't overnight.
Wasn't overnight.
People think they're gonna jump in and get it overnight.
Oh no, it takes some grit and grind. Like I'm scrubbing grills at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just to save up my money in order to be able to be in this position to study, to have the time. Only bringing home $200, $300, $400 a week.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Major sacrifice for years.
Yeah.
And God is good, so opportunities pop up. I just take them. We're not going to make it out alive.
Yeah.
So
at what point do you leave the Allstate guy?
It was, and I had never taken any time off of work. So it was about, we worked together for about a year or two, so I ended up having another opportunity because now I'm licensed. So now I can work with a couple of different agents or whatnot. Yeah. So I'd never taken any time off of work at QT, the gas station. So I had to plan my time. I had to be strategic on an exit strategy. A lot of people have jobs and they're like, okay, so how do I get out this job? Well, I had an exit strategy. I knew that I was going to be vested in my company with a certain amount of time, with a certain amount of income in my 401k. I know exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah. And I had never taken a sick day, nothing off. I'm talking about I just worked. But I accumulated all this time. So I took that time in order to finish studying for my last test and then organizing my brokerage at the time, organizing Insurance Access. I came up with 20 names, and Insurance Access was like, So you saying now, hey, I'm going to do this on my own. 100% on my own.
What made you, did you ever consider like going from, I work for Allstate, I'll go over to Geico and sell? Did you ever consider that? Or was it always, hey, I'm going to do this on my own?
Well, it's all about just, I knew survival. I already had the skill set. I already had the personal development, the personable skills. Most people get mad at their job. Like, man, I can't wait to get out of here. I leaned into my job to hone my skill set to be better in my company. They was trying to promote me. So I took a day off and just never came back.
They still waiting on you?
Never came back. Never came back. I was like, and I was committed because I had like 50 days worth of sick time. And but I read this book called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, Think and Grow Rich.
They say burn the ships. That means that this army came over to this land to conquer this land. Yeah. And they burned the ships because there was no intent to go back. So I didn't have a plan B. Yeah. So the first day I took off, I had 50 days. First day I took off, we wore uniforms. I threw away all my uniforms.
Oh, wow.
First day I took off, I was committed to the process.
Yeah. You had already said it to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not going back.
I'm not going back. I had a plan together. So some people just want to leave, but be the best employee you can at your current job.
Yeah.
If you're not a good employee at your job, you're not going to be good in business.
Right.
Yeah. Because you're going to get out in the business world, it's going to eat you alive.
Yeah.
Most people going 30, 40% on their job and getting promotions.
Yeah.
This entrepreneurship thing is different. It keeps you honest. What you don't put into it is what you don't get out. Because how it works, you work, get paid. Work, get paid. Work, get paid. Work, get paid. Now you start getting paid, get paid. And then after that, it's still not your money.
Yeah.
Now you got to invest back into the business.
Yeah.
I learned from my mistakes. That's every boss got to take a loss. You don't have to, I would say get a mentor, somebody who could teach you something that'll save you 5-10 years, so you don't have to go through that.
Right.
Outside of the Allstate guy, did you have any mentors who were around you? Any people who were, kind of a little bit further in their journey that was similar to yours? Or
I didn't. I just kind of watched plays, man. I watched people, you know what I mean? Because at that time, it was nobody in my space doing what I was doing, especially insurance. That's a hard industry to kind of get into. It's not a lot of people that look like me in this space, maybe life insurance, but not property casualties. So I got just desperate one time. I didn't have an iPhone. I didn't know what social media was. The only app I ever used was Google Maps. And I got on YouTube and I would listen to this lady's strategies for marketing and things like that in the tax space for about 6 hours. And then I bought her program. And I was like, man, this is getting tough. Like, I was thinking about switching to the tax industry, because I'm out here now, so she was like, best advice I could have gotten from anybody. She was like, okay, Mark, I see what you're doing. What do? You're an insurance broker. I know I'm a tax guru. Focus on insurance. She was my
So you ended up reaching out to her.
That's the only.
So you found her on YouTube.
Found her on YouTube.
And ended up reaching out to her.
Yeah, shout out to Krista Tyus. She was like a big mentor of mine at one point. But she told me, she gave me the best advice I could have ever gotten. Just stay focused.
Yeah.
Stay consistent. It's not fun right now. It's not comfortable.
Yeah.
But stay consistent. So I took that advice, and it really just changed the whole makeup of my business. I really was able to crack that code at that time.
So now you out on your own. You in the you
100%. 100%. Yeah, but teamwork make the dream work. I got smart people around me.
Okay.
I'm not the smartest one. I'm really not.
You got a partner right then, or who you working with, or just other business people around you?
Other employees.
Other employees.
Yeah.
So you hire some people starting out?
Not starting out. But now we got employees, but not starting out.
Yeah. But I mean starting out. I mean after you leave Allstate, you got your own thing starting.
It was just me.
It was just you.
It was just me. Me doing everything, making calls, making the business meetings, opportunity meetings and things like that. Talking to clients, trying my hand in social media, whatever.
Yeah. You trying to do it all.
I had to. Yeah. And then that little bit of income that I got, I just mentored up and I listened to books. I listened to self-development books that said, hey, go hire somebody, go get a mentor, one of the best books I read that reared me, I think, in entrepreneurship is Be Obsessed or Be Average by Grant Cardone. So it gave me the temperament to be able to say, okay, don't trip on my payroll. It's going to get me to another place. Yeah. Don't trip on hiring and firing people. Prepare to be the only person in your business because, no one's going to want to get it like you want to get it. Yeah. Don't get mad at folks. So I ended up saying, hey, and then after a while, go to conferences and things like that. So at that point, I just started seeking after people. And they didn't have to be in the insurance space. If you really to learn, I'll pull you from a gas station. I'll pull you. You scrubbing that toilet really good, man. And you thought about doing something different. Yeah. Opening my mouth and putting something in my head to be able to talk about. So, that's what brought me to the place I am now. Yeah. And,
Hey, this is Doug Johnston with Artistic Visuals at LQ Financial Group. You're probably one of the #1 startup production companies in the DFW area. Got to work with global stars Erykah Badu,
Real shy, hey, diggy.
David O. Executive produced a show recently with Boosie for the Boosie Gone Bad.
It's what the world been waiting on. I'm finna change the game. I got my own platform. It's going down.
So with all that said, LQ and her organization have helped us grow as a small company, with our taxes or any type of business mentorship and helping the growth in the DFW area. So if you're a small company or a mid-sized company, even a large company, but you guys need direction, the LQ Financial Group.
How long did it really take you to get being out on your own to kind of get some real traction with it?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years. I would say the first year I was able to establish some good relationships, but to really get real good traction, I'm talking about 16, 17 hour days.
Oh, wow.
Every day for 2 years, nailing at it. Finally got into an office space. I'm the only one showing up to my office building, just me. And I'm dressing up too.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a suit, going to the office, just me in the office.
Putting the same effort you put in for somebody else for yourself.
More.
Showing up for yourself.
Showing up.
Yeah, that's
showing up.
Yeah. For yourself.
And then after a while, like it just cracked after that. After that 2 year period, I had my head down. I got a check that I ain't never seen before in my life. I was like, I ain't going back to nobody's job.
Yeah.
I was like, well, shit, I'm done.
Yeah.
So, but I knew that it wasn't mine. I was like, okay, now let me go find some people. Let me duplicate
You almost
myself.
shook back to that 21-year-old. You about
It was close.
It was close. Fellas, we back.
Yeah.
We back.
It was close.
Yeah.
I thought about them hard times. I thought about that couch. I was like, okay, I got a bed now.
Right.
I got my own roof and a bed. So
Yeah.
I can't go back there. But
Yeah. Talk about that moment, that feeling. That was.
I could have cried, man. I think I did cry, man.
Yeah.
Because all of the narratives of everybody telling you got to go to school to do this, you have to do this, you got to do that. You'll never see money like this if you don't follow these rules had automatically disappeared in that moment. And I knew it was me that I depended on. I knew it was my effort.
You stuck with it.
Yeah, and anybody around me, you can't hate on nobody else if they don't put it in.
Yeah.
I see somebody getting it like me, I salute them because I know that it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes that journey, and to maintain it, it takes even more.
Yeah.
And you made it work.
Made it work.
That's something a lot of people don't do. They go into it. I hear people say this all the time. They on their job. They say, well, I want to do such and such business. Let's say I want to do a little food truck or something.
Yeah.
But I won't quit my job until my food truck proves to me that it can work. Most people who are successful step into like, this got to prove to me it's not going to work. Like something would have had to happen where, hey, this insurance thing is just not going to work. It's completely, I've tried every single option before you quit. That's what it sounded like. You had the dedication.
It worked for somebody else, so it could work for me. It got to work for
somebody
me.
else. It had to work. Yeah, it worked for you.
I remember that book that I'm like, man, look, if I get this going, when I get this, it went from an if to when.
Yeah.
It was just like no other options. I ain't had nothing to go back to. Nobody would hire me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right there, you said if to win.
Yeah. It had to work.
Take that out. You took if out of it. If wasn't an option.
It wasn't an option.
Work.
Right.
When is going to work.
And I'm, my mom sacrificed in a lot of her circumstances and bills I was responsible for at that time. In this day, throughout this entire time.
Throughout the entire time.
Yeah. So, I couldn't, it wasn't just about me at that time.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful, man. I'm just grateful every day I get to open my eyes, man. Look, I ain't doing no tripping.
You got that big check. When did you get your first employee?
It was like shortly after that. I took that and I hired somebody.
Okay. You put it back in the business.
Put it right back in the business. Took that and I hired somebody.
Had your little moment with it and it went back out there.
I did. I was like, I really want to. And then it multiplied from there. And I was like, okay, I need to do what I'm good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was a generalist in everything that I was doing. Like I could generally get some of this stuff done.
Yeah.
But I got to look down at the keyboard when I'm typing too. So I know that I couldn't get half the work as soon, but I can go get business. I can go build relationships. That's what I was good at.
Yeah.
So I think it's key to understand that in a business dynamic, especially on a tangible end, focus at what you're good at. You're going to start off with a couple of generalists, and then you're going to go to specialists. And then you're going to bring more specialists around to you're not working in your business, you're working on your business. Now you're looking at 20% growth. I focus on the 20% growth of the business and the people who are smarter than me and better at what I was doing in their position. I let them do them.
Yeah.
And I take care of them. And I do, I go over and I will run through a wall for them just like they will for me. And then strategic partnerships. People that I can add value to. If I see you from a distance doing something, I'm going to reach out to you to try to add value. I'm not coming with my hand out. I'm coming to say, hey, this is your business. This is what you like. Okay. Yeah. You're a realtor. You like clients.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You tax pro.
Yeah.
You like clients. Anybody,
how can I add value to you?
How can I add value? And then that's part of doing my part, and then adding technology into the whole mix. Right. And then that gives you an opportunity to kind of scale and things like that. So me, it's just like being a student every single day, keep my mind sharp. Yeah. But
what kind of obstacles have you ran into, like, since you had it going? Because as of now, you're one of the biggest shows going as far as insurance.
Appreciate that.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
appreciate
for sure.
That. Thank you.
And a highline expert. So we always talk about how we come in contact with people. So Marcus is actually the person who got us involved in life insurance. And
grateful.
I think LQ met you first.
Yes. Yep.
And got y'all. It got us in there.
Yep, we got connected. Marcus became my bro.
Yeah,
that's one of my brothers. And when you got those people that you gain a close net worth with, like, that net worth is everything. So and being in the insurance industry, part of it, and teaching and training has been a great thing, all because of Marcus.
Well, I'm grateful I can add value.
Yeah.
Very grateful I can
super
add
knowledgeable.
Value. Yeah.
Super duper knowledgeable. They do the big business together, all the talking about insurance. I'm Marcus' spiritual advisor.
Yeah.
I'm his spiritual advisor.
I don't know about that one.
We need those.
I'm his spiritual and his moral advisor because I try to keep the trouble from around.
I had to rethink some things after,
I'm skeptical of everybody. Mm-hmm. And so, the conversation that me and you always have.
Yeah.
Watch them old dusty ass. You got to watch them.
Bro.
Yeah.
How to watch
That's
them.
me. You got to watch them because one thing is when you become successful, but you can become a target of people.
Yeah.
And especially when you're a good person, you become a target.
People always got their hands out.
People
seeing
always
what they
got
can
their
get
hand
from
out.
you, what they can leech off you on.
And they toes too. Yeah, they got their toes out too. You
Damn.
got
the toes out. Let me get that.
Yeah. Come on, look out for me. Yeah. So
we done had some experiences.
Man, tell me about it, man. So I just took more so, the celebratory aspect of some of the wins that I have private. I keep a lot of my personal relationships private. And I just kind of spit facts about the fruits that's brought us, a lifestyle versus showing the lifestyle.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I talk about, things that can help people, because whenever you start advertising a lot of your tangible success, like you say, you are a target. People aren't really just happy for you in that sense. So, I kind of keep a lot of that private, and I just kind of stay to the actual factuals. So you go to my page, you'll see. But we all go through something. Everybody ain't always perfect. It's good stuff, but a lot of it's like, people want to show the good stuff on social media and everything like that, what they celebrating. But we all go through, some day to day. It's hard.
It's always something.
You know what I mean? People got excuses and saying, hey, look, man, I had to go through this and you don't understand because it rained on everybody.
Yeah, it's right.
Everybody. You just didn't get an umbrella. It rains. Look, I got to deal with it too.
Yeah.
So, but just being a good judge of character.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just you can sense genuine people who actually want the best for you and want to see you do what you want to do, and understand that how they reap their benefits is putting their pants on one leg at a time as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then supporting that, and the people that think alike, I keep them close. Like, to see y'all win, I feel like I'm winning myself.
Yeah.
We all got our own blessings. I want to see y'all go as far as y'all can. And it's in no comparison in, realm of anything to me.
Yeah.
You know, I love y'all, and I want to make. I'm just excited to be around the energy, and that's genuine. Yeah. And if somebody has that opposite energy, you can really feel that.
You can,
even if it's disguised.
Yeah.
And all the good one thing I have seen, especially in the Black community, because there are so few. There's a lot of people say they're entrepreneurs. A lot of people say they got businesses and this and that, but there are really very few people who are doing it seriously.
Yeah.
And so those people tend to stay connected. Yeah. Pretty much every good person I've met who was doing something, I can call them now today.
Right.
You had no falling out, no problems.
Yeah.
Because it's just so few of you. And you learn almost to, but unfortunately on the other side of that, sometimes it's so few of you that desire to have other people come in. You let some people come in who
don't fit the description.
Who don't fit the description. And we've all ran into that where we kind of, have somebody come
also around. We want it for them so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we really be like, oh, you want to get in here? Okay, come on. And then as soon as they get in there, then you be like, really?
They got different motives.
Really?
Yeah, they got different motives.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they mess up with you.
Right.
They mess up not only with you, but they mess up to even try to be successful because they got, like you said, those alternative motives.
Right.
Deter them a whole different way. They only trying to leech off of you or seeing what they can get off of you.
Right.
Living off of your fame or living off of what you got going on.
And you said something, Sean, like I think the last time I was here, man, like whoever you bring to this organization, to us, our relationship, you responsible for that person.
Yeah. That's one of our
I'm protective about that. Like I don't want to bring anybody around y'all that's going to, hurt y'all in any type of way or, be a image that's not reflective of what I put out. So
what are some like the top 5 things you would tell a person within starting a business and getting going in life?
I would say get your business structure right, because that's what happened. Like with me, I had to go back to the drawing board and get my business structure right. I didn't realize I didn't have it right the first time. Whenever you set up your business, you're the biggest liability to your business. So if you're starting off as a LLC, fill out Form 8832, separate yourself from business, get with a tax pro. When I'm saying get your business structure right, get with a good tax person, LQ Financial.
LQ Financial.
LQ Financial for sure. She's going to get you right. That's where you start off. Start off with your foundation right, because you want to get that trajectory. Because what'll happen is that you'll get all the way up the ladder and something happen, it'll drop you right back down. So business structure right, personal development. Personal development. You get what you put in. You know what I mean? I don't care if it takes you 100 strikes. Sometimes that concrete might not crack until 101. Just keep striking. It's going to happen. If it happened for somebody else, it's going to happen for you. So definitely getting your business credit right. Personal credit right, but definitely getting your business credit right. Yeah. Start off with your personal credit, have that right. So that's 3, I think. That's 3. Get your personal credit right. And the right people around you. The right people around you. You know what I mean? So if birds of a feather flock together.
Absolutely.
Get around somebody who's doing what you want to do in a successful space. Yeah. It's a running joke on social media talking about, hey, would you rather take the $500,000 or have a dinner with Jay-Z? Yeah. Well, it depends on where you're at in your life to be able to sit down at that table to have that. Because he can give you something that you can't even benefit from. Yeah. You know what I mean? You may not be ready, and stop looking at everybody else.
Yep.
Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Yeah. A lot of these entrepreneurs who claim to be certain things, they not really out there doing it like that. Focus on
guru. That's what
the gurus. They not, and I'm not self-proclaimed guru. Somebody named me their client, so I just ran with it.
That's right, the insurance guru. But you're not a guru.
Yeah,
that's we'll get on that. I have a whole thing for guru culture.
Me too, bro.
I hate it.
It's some snakes out there.
It is.
It's some snakes out there. People getting hurt too.
Yeah,
getting hurt.
Yeah, they getting hurt and taken for.
Like a big real estate thing going on now with the DJ.
Man, DJ Envy.
And all that stuff. Man, that
crazy.
It's that guru stuff, man. And anybody can get burned. Anybody can get burned. But if you making more off selling courses and doing conferences than you are what you supposed to be teaching me how to do, I probably don't want to deal with you.
Check, you gotta check these folks out. Are they really doing what they say they doing?
Right.
Nah,
they could be helping, but they not really doing. And my thing comes from the people.
Yeah.
Like before I helped anybody get in position to do what we doing, as far as like insurance, I've already helped thousands of people in their own policies. Focus on one client at a time too. That's what I would say. My last thing, one client at a time, because you don't know who they know. You don't know, what type of impression you're getting. I don't care if you're not making a lot of money from this deal. Give them the same benefit if you're making $10 to where if you're making $10,000. Just don't switch it up. And just be a student of your craft, man. Be a student of your craft. You gotta study.
So, one last thing, because you specializing in doing the trust and everything. How important is it for everyone to have a trust?
It's very important for everybody to have a trust. We're government issued. We've been given government issued product numbers, social security numbers, birth certificate numbers. These are numbers that the government can't control. And if you have any type of disdain or care for your family or your next of kin, to avoid what's called probate court, to pass down true legacy, you need a trust. A trust is a document that has several different instructions in it that definitely articulates exactly what you want to do with your resources that you created over your lifetime. And then it also functions as an alter ego. A trust has its own TIN number, that's taxpayer identification number. It has its own, it can own property. It can have a credit score, things like this. Consider it as if you're creating a whole new person. So the benefit of a trust is that the Supreme Court upholds what's called contract law, which gives us an opportunity to open up a contract with anybody else and have it separate from legislative law, which is the government. So it just separates government law and legislative law. So the trust gives you an opportunity to have this contract and have that number not be controlled by the government. Because if you die without a trust, even if you die with a will, you die with all of your assets in the name of that government issued number, your social security number. So when you get a trust, you take those assets like your bank accounts and say, hey, I want to transfer the ownership of this bank account out of my name and into the name of the trust. I want to transfer this real estate out of my name into the name of the trust. But what if I owe a mortgage? Congress passed a law in 1980 called the Garn-St. Germain Act that allows you to transfer a home into a trust, and avoid the due on sale clause. If you transfer it to a person, if you transfer it or if you sell it, you owe that mortgage. But you could transfer it into a trust. And what that does is, especially if you're in business, if somebody types in your address, your name pops up. Somebody types in your business LLC, your name pops up. Get a registered agent. Get everything out of your name. You're the major liability because there's haters out here. People will reach out. Hey, they want to sue you. The easiest way to do it is type in your LLC, type in your business. Oh, okay, that's where he lived. That's what. Look, let me go serve him with some papers. You don't have to be guilty to be served with a lawsuit. You know what I mean? That's not, people get sued all the time.
You ain't made it till you got sued.
But you been there. But you got to fight that lawsuit too. Just because you got to prove that you didn't do it. And that costs money, and without, you don't want that money coming out of your pocket. That's why we go back into our insurance teaching and teaching you how to utilize that money in the insurance policy to pay for all those legal attacks, because the snakes are always going to be trying to take your garden. But definitely have a trust. The epitome of owning nothing but controlling everything. So you could look at any assets that I'm associated with. I don't own nothing. No. Gotcha. I don't even own my business.
I own nothing.
I'm a part of my business. I work for the business, but that's the way to limit that liability and then be private too.
Okay. Cool.
Be private.
So for anybody who wants to learn more about trust, learn more about life insurance, become life insurance agents, get involved in the industry, seek you out to be a mentor, how do they get in contact with you?
Or even become a client.
Definitely. You can always reach me on all my social media platforms. Marcus Egiebor Egiebor, or you can call our offices at 469-290-4664, and definitely have opportunities in every lane that you just mentioned.
That's awesome. Do you have a website?
Yeah, it's called insaccessfirm.com. It's the first three letters of insurance, and it's ACCESSFIRM.com. And it gives you everything from setting up trust to life insurance, boat insurance, business insurance, all of that. We touch on everything. We have several agents that are ready and willing to help you.
That's awesome. Well, guys, that was Marcus Egiebor, the insurance guru, and it's a wrap.
Let's go.
We did it.
Thank you, man, bro. Yeah, thank y'all.
Yeah, that worked, man. Appreciate it, man.